This will be my thoughts on The Witcher 1 video game from 2007 by CD Projekt Red after having read The Lady of the Lake, the last book in the Witcher saga. I have not read Season of Storms as that book didn't release until 2013 in Poland, 2 years after The Witcher 2 was released. Keep in mind that this is not a review, just my thoughts after having watched the full walkthrough of the game. You might be asking, wait, what? How can you evaluate something without playing? Think of this more as a movie review or post-theater thoughts. I will not be evaluating gameplay obviously, just what I saw from the walkthrough. The walkthrough itself was easy for me to watch as it was straight to the point and didn't bother with exploring every nook and cranny. It was also only 17 hours long compared to other walkthroughs that were in the 30-hour range. This made it for a less than complete experience, but I got the gist of the story, atmosphere, and characters, which is what I will evaluate. It would have taken me far too long had I actually played this game, and I really wanted to get to The Witcher 2 and 3. Don't worry, I will definitely replay those games and hopefully review them as a book fan. Going from finishing the Witcher books to this game was actually a pretty smooth and rewarding transition. It takes place directly after the saga, 5 years after the Battle of Brenna. And even though a new story is told in the Threat of the Salamandra, the world very much feels like a continuation and sequel to the books. From references, character interactions, and lore from the books visually realized, you feel right at home. The Witcher games have to be the best book adaptation I've ever seen. So much so that I was curious if they had consulted with the creator-author Andrzej Sapkowski. I found this English-dubbed Polish documentary of the Witcher 1 game. There's a bit where they talk about Andrzej's indifference towards the game, so no direct involvement like script or lore collaboration, just notes and questions answered.
CD Projekt, owszem, kilkakrotnie prosił mnie o pewnego rodzaju konsultacje i ja bardzo chętnie tych konsultacji udzieliłem. Czyli czymś tam grę wspomogłem. Natomiast o współpracy przy tworzeniu scenariusza nie było nigdy mowy. W związku z tym, no co, miałem się wcinać przed szereg. Mówiąc szczerze, i tak, nawet gdyby propozycja była, to bym jej odmówił.
Reminds me of George Lucas's role. He served in projects like The Mandalorian. It's a real testament to the love for this world the devs had. It's a shame Geralt doesn't have his memory throughout the story because there's characters or references to those characters that we got to know and love from the books that Geralt will just acting different towards. Like Renfri, Codringer and Fen, and the Hansa. This is great for newcomers that haven't read the books, but at least there's a DLC that takes place before them, meaning you get to play as real Geralt and not player Geralt for a bit. I guess this is something that I'm gonna have to hold out for in The Witcher 3, and from the looks of it, parts of The Witcher 2 when he regains some of his memories. From a gameplay perspective, I obviously can't judge the game how it felt, the mechanics, etc. Just what I observed. The game's combat is very much like an old BioWare game such as KOTOR, where Geralt isn't dodging like a spider, rolling like a hedgehog. He's in the fight, his blade the only thing between him and the opponent. However, in KOTOR, the lightsabers and vibroblades actually made contact with each other and both fighters were locked together in the same animation. From an outside perspective, this looked more cinematic than just a game, though in The Witcher 1, Geralt's pirouettes and sword swings are so well designed that it does look as if he's fighting in tandem with his opponent. This is a system that's outdated and now only seen in turn-based RPGs, probably because there's now a lot more control in combat in RPGs, making it so you aren't forced to take damage by the roll of a die. In terms of character, this game is so massive, yet because it's a quest-based game, there isn't a lot of time and development for them. meaning just a few characters caught my eye of favor. Siegfried being the best ally in the game, the Grandmaster being the best foe, because let's face it, Azar and the Professor were like cartoons. Though I did like how the Professor was intrigued by Geralt. Honorable mentions are Jean-Pierre for having a secret I shall not spoil, Berengar because Geralt meeting other Witchers is one of my favorite moments of the series as a whole. And because I don't remember anyone else at the moment, the Lady of the Lake. Pretty cool character from the books, though where's Condwyrmers? Or is this a different version from the books as that one? Maybe from another reality? Pretty sure that one is more human looking, but I don't remember her description to be honest. Unless the lady can pass through different worlds. Sorry non-book fans, just me ruminating over the lore. I know what you're saying, how could I not mention Shani? Well, the walkthrough I watched chose Triss over Shani, so I didn't get to see much of her. Personally, I would have picked Shani just because they made Triss too similar to Yen in this one, but without Yen's thoughtfulness. Probably those Geralt-less years she had to endure because she gets softer across the games. Last thing I want to discuss is the music. There's no music in the books obviously, but I had already played Witcher 2 and 3 before reading them. I'd be curious what a pure book fan who hasn't played the games thinks of the music. Me, I think it's wonderful. It's full of charm and the audio quality makes it feel nostalgic in a weird way. And that's that. I had planned to watch this game before, but now that there's a remake in the works, it's much more exciting. I won't be out of the loop when that releases. I'm currently on The Witcher 2, then I'll replay 3, and maybe I'll give those games my thoughts as a book fan. Until then, so long.